Hello and welcome to Top 5 Friday. I'm your host Tim Cant, and this time I'm feeling a deep sense of well-being and relaxation as we're about to run down Plugin Boutique's Top 5 Ambient and Chillout plugins. Now please, don't mind the dolphins. They are hyper-intelligent, but they have promised not to eat us unless humanity affects the environment in some way. Now, let's check out those plugins. Filter XL is gigantic at 5. Neptune is beatboxing away at 4. K1V is kawaii at 3. Tel Sampler is good to go at 2. And Shimmer Verb is glittering at the top spot. At 5, it's Filter XL by Vengeance Sound. At a very reasonable £40, Filter XL can do some very unreasonable things to your audio signal, giving you a pair of filters, each of which can be set between a smooth 12 dB and a surgical 96 decibels. Modulated filter action is fab for ambient and chill out stylings, and that is on tap here thanks to the 2 LFOs. Plus, there are 2 envelope followers that respond to the input level of the signal, plus saturation of the filters, ring modulation, frequency modulation, and a convenient limiter on the outputs. Okay, let's have a little play with filter. Let's get the filter sweeps out of the way first. I've got a bit of an ambient pad here. Isn't that nice? Now, of course, you've got your low pass, and you've got your resonance, and various slopes. Oh, lush. And you got your high pass. All the same stuff there. And you can arrange these in both bandpass and notch formation. And also link them together for some, super sweep in action. But let's forget that for a moment and I'll basically reset all this stuff here. What I want to show you is the freak mod stuff. That's right, it does flip in FM in the effect. So what we do is we play the audio back. We turn up the mix. Oh, what's going on? Crazy harmonics. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the frequency so you can hear it at its lowest frequency, which gives you an idea of what's going on. It's just vibrato, guys. FM is just vibrato. That's the elephant in the room. So you can use this to add some vinyl style wobble. And the more you increase the frequency, oh Lord. And you can create some crazy effects there. Put a bit of delay on it, you've got an ambient masterclass for yourself. Filter XL, worth checking out right now. At 4, it's Neptune by D16 Group. This emulation of the Roland TR-808 drum machine is a well-loved plugin, putting 17 drum kit elements in front of you in virtual form. As well as the guts of the original hardware, which would set you back an arm and a leg, mind you, Neptune also offers enhanced sequencing control, synthesis parameters that go beyond the range of the original hardware, and the ability to sequence the sounds directly from your DAW, bypassing the step sequencer interface if you so desire. D16 have even added a randomizer for good measure, for those moments when your inspiration has failed. Neptune costs £85 from Plugin Boutique. Back in the day, 808 drum sounds weren't just for bangers, they were for the chill out times too. So let's make a kind of late 80s style chilled out beat. I'm going to set the project tempo to a slow 85 BPM, that's chill. Then I'm going to make MIDI clip, set this bad boy to the medium size, I think. And so I want to trigger the individual drum sounds from the MIDI grid editor. So I'm going to turn off Neptune's internal sequencer, which allows us to trigger the drum sounds individually. There we go. So I'm going to put a snare on the 2 and the 4. And I'm going to put some kicks here. So I want it to go boom, butch, boom, ba-doom, ch. So let's see if I can do that. No, not quite. Let's move that one over. Wicked. Okay, now it's time for some hats. Let's find them. Oh, that'll do. A little bit loud. I'm going to muck about with those levels when we're done. Also, I want one of these to be a hi-hat. Oh, there we go. This is coming along. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Let's loop this up. In fact, what we're going to do is, yeah, I've got it looped in the MIDI clip there. I'm gonna roll this out to 4 bars. Gonna print it to 1 MIDI clip, and then I'm gonna, yeah, there we go. Nice little crash cymbal. Now, that's all well and good, but my secret sauce to this, just adding a little bit of reverb, guys. We're gonna do that with the default Ableton Live return track reverb. Ooh. Oh, sounding nice. That's good. And as promised, I'm gonna tame those levels. Ooh, tightening up the decay on that closed hat. And maybe we could even tighten that snare drum a bit too. No, that's too much. But that's too loose. Oh, there we go. The beautiful chilled out sounds of the Roland TR-808 as recreated by D16 Neptune. What a corker. At 3, it's the K1V by Nils Snyder. This emulation of the Kawaii K1 seeks to match the original synth as closely as possible with its 8-bit synthesis engine and 4 sources per voice, offering 256 waveforms, that's 204 additive waveforms, plus 52 PCM waveforms. Some of the goodies on offer here include ring modulation, auto bend, and that virtual joystick to give you control over the source's mix. It's light on the modulation sources and doesn't really have any effects, but this is a classic synth for late 80s / early 90s ambient tones. And did I mention it's free? Nils Kawaii K1V is a flippin' treat if you are a fan of such plugins as Roland's D50 and Korg's M1. This is very much a contemporary of those. It's a bit simpler, but if you're after that lo-fi sampling and synthesis sound, you are in for a treat, and it's free. So, hey, if you use it loads, why not donate to the author? Now, let's have a look at what's under the hood. So, much like your M1 et al., you've got single and multi modes. So in single mode, you have various single patches, like this sort of stuff. Oh. Perfect for your chilled out moments. There's tons of stuff in here. Very lovely indeed. And if you want something a bit more involved, you can go to the multi-patches where you've got some classic noises like suspense. Now you may well recognise that if you're into your older warehouse music. Let's have another listen to it on a different pitch. Oh, fantastic stuff. So, you can go, these aren't just samples, by the way. You can go in and edit these. So if you were to edit a single, let's go and play with our R patch, which is lovely. You click the edit button. This is made up of 4 sources, which you can pan around vector style with this joystick. Oh, lovely stuff. And of course you have, you know, for each of the voices you have typical stuff like your amplitude envelope, so we could make it nice and tight like that. Now what you might not realise is that this synth does flip-in ring modulation, which it confusingly refers to as AM for some reason. What we can do here is we can ring modulate the various sources with another one. So let's modulate 3 to 4. Let's see if we can muck about with 4 and hear how, if that changes it at all. Oh, there we go. So you can get some kind of lo-fi sounds. Do you know what? I'm going to swap that around and modulate 4 to 3. Let me go back and edit that now. I've made it ridiculously high. Oh. So you can get some interesting textures going on there. So yeah, K1V, it's a cracking little synth. Plenty of sounds in there to get your hands on. And it's a freebie, guys, so why don't you Google it right now. At 2, it's Tel Sampler by Tel Software. This plugin is something of a tribute to the classic samplers from the 80s and 90s, making it great for people who want to do it old school. Tel Sampler works much like a synth, which instead of having regular oscillators, has samplers instead. There are 3 envelopes, 3 LFOs, a resampler, a filter, EQ, delay and reverb, and of course 4 layers of sample sources to combine as oscillators. You can select various sampling engines to give you a wealth of parameters to grunge up your sound and create some sweet, sweet lo-fi textures. Okay, so Tel Sampler is a sampler of that. There can be no denying. You've got your 4 different layers here, you load some samples onto them, you put it through the resampler and the filter and muck about with the envelopes and LFOs, maybe some effects, and you get some lovely, lovely sounds. But hey, what if you can't be bothered to make your own patches from scratch? Well, what I didn't realise was this thing comes absolutely packed with some awesome, awesome presets. For example, if we go to the factory presets, empty vessel, pad, we've got some goodies in here. Let's listen to a few of them now. Ooh. Warm duvet, making me want to go right back to bed. What else? Underwater cathedral? Sounds impractical. But what a great tone. Oh, the Titanic. Long attack times on this one. What else? The Forgotten? A lo-fi moment. Ooh, clicky. Ooh, I want a bit of smoothness. Oh yeah, lovely. Oh, you know that's going in my preset folder. What else we got? Oh. Just great stuff. So yeah, some top patches there. And the instrument itself is wicked. It's very reasonably priced. It's just over £50 from the Tel software website. So yeah, if you want a great instrument and what amounts to an awesome workstation all in one, please investigate immediately. And at number 1, it's Shimmer Verb by Eventide. Cut from the same cloth as Eventide's H9 plugin series and featuring a lot of the processing finesse found in their well-respected hardware units, Shimmer Verb is a pretty specific plugin. It performs the characteristic shimmering effect created using both pitch shifting and reverb and gives you even more control to make it totally your own. You get control over the virtual size of the effect and 2 pitch shifting parameters. To mix things up and get things moving, there's delay, feedback and EQ controls in there, and you can hold everything in the buffer using the freeze section. Brrr. Shimmer Verb costs just under £90 at Plugin Boutique. So the question you're asking is, can you use Shimmer Verb to turn basically any sound into an amazing aural soundscape? The answer is yes. Let's have a look at how you do that now. I've got this, I guess it's a synth loop. I've got the mix turned down to 0 on the plugin. Let's hear how it sounds. It's a very nice sound. It's kind of glitchy and all over the place. Surely that's never going to make a luscious ambient soundscape. How wrong you are. Let's turn up that mix. Ooh. And then we can whack up the size. Ooh. And I'm going to turn down the decay. Ooh. Oh yeah. This is the undulating smoothness. And we can change the pitch of the pitch shifter. Let's go for a 5th up there. And let's go for 2 octaves here. Ooh. Or maybe let's have a 5th and an octave. Ooh. Beautiful. Let's turn up that feedback as well. Ooh. Oh, my lordy. There you go. In fact, that's a bit too much for my taste because you can't really hear any movement anymore. Oh, there we go. So we've gone from here to here. What a cracking plugin. I love you, Shimmer Verb. You're the best. Well, by now, I'm sure you can sense that your chakras have been realigned and that you're about to transcend to another plane of existence. But before you do, please hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. We'll be back soon for more chilled out lols. Goodbye.